And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different, something special. Welcome to the HomeStory Cup at Group Stage 26. Group C, a replay cast of an event that did occur last month. I'm, of course, your host, VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. Ooh, again, we can finally wrap up the group stage. For those that are curious, we, of course, did cast this event live. This event occurred in the beginning of December of 2024, and we were the B stream at the time. We did cover the group stage into the playoffs. Likewise, the main stream was also casting alongside us, but something that did occur during the group stage is that even though we were casting, there were only two English streams, the main stream and the B stream, and in the group stage 3 matches were happening at the same time, which means there is a third of the group stage that just did not get casted. So we're here to do justice. We're here to cast those matches. As you can imagine, again, we're a little bit late when it comes to this broadcast. I mean, we've just been very busy. We just haven't really had too much time to jump into these replays. But coming into January, we had a couple of free slots available in throughout the month of casting, and we have since been able to slide in these replay casts. We already went over Group A, Group B, and Group D. Now we're here with Group C. Again, the final group of the group stage. Here we go as we switch our scenes over and have a look at the matches coming up ahead of us. Ooh, we have five best of threes here. As a reminder, this is a round robin group stage, and these matches were unfortunately not covered. We have quite a plethora, though, of Protoss matches. Here we go. We have DnS versus MaNa coming up first, followed by DnS versus Hero Marine, Reyna versus MaNa, Reyna versus DnS, and Clem versus MaNa. Oh boy. When it comes to the group stage, top two players did make it through, and as you can imagine, it was a very intense group, very unforgiving as well. The mainstream, for the most part, they covered most of Gabe's matches, Rainer's matches, and Clem's matches. As you can imagine, this was a very stacked group, so we are catching up with the matches that were not covered at the time. Let's go. Let us go. So we have our 5 matches ahead of us. Otherwise, hope you'll enjoy yourselves. And I hope you'll have had a great week so far. It has been already an intense week of StarCraft. Going over the Lulu Cup group stage, we did cover Group B last night, and the Mass Coliseum playoffs, they begin tonight in 12 hours. In 12 hours time, we do have the Mass Coliseum playoffs. Tonight is day 1, then tomorrow day 2, the day after that day 3. I believe we're not wrapping up the playoff bracket, don't get me wrong, but we have 3 days straight of Mass Coliseum. Likewise, today we're also covering HomeStory Cup. Tomorrow is going to be the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, and on Sunday will be, alongside Mass Coliseum, the Thermal 2v2 tournament replay cast as well. So it's a busy weekend. 3 days straight, 6 broadcasts, all coming at you here on the CranKy Ducklings. As always, and never when not casting, I have to edit all the VODs, I have to schedule all the VODs. That's not like this. You know, we wanted to take January off, or we wanted to take a bit of a lighter load in January. Not at all, Pappy. Not at all. But it's fine. It's fine. We're here for it. We're here for the StarCraft. Always. As we're getting into our first game of the night. Game 1 is going to be on Amygdala between DnS and MaNa. Here we go. Just catching up with the chat. Hello, Psycons. Hello, I stand as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? BBQ, welcome. I'm actually literally jumping into the replays now. Yes, we jump in head first. No, not like this. This morning, in the right corner of Amygdala, we have the red Protoss player from the land of Poland, representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player from the land of France. It is DnS. Here we go. Again, our only PvP of the morning is ahead of us. Let's go. What a way to wake up. What a way to embrace StarCraft. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. DnS, I mean, for a long time. He was the, I would say, the ace player of the Platinum Heroes. Did eventually leave the Platinum Heroes, did find greener pastures over at Berserker Esports, but unfortunately with with WTL coming to an end, or with at least going on hiatus, Berserker Esports did thin out their roster. Since then, DnS now is a free agent, but is still an amazing player nonetheless. It does kind of float under the radar just because DnS doesn't really compete in too many tournaments. He's not the most active player in the online tournament scene. Did do so well in WTL, but outside that, we just rarely get to see DnS in action. So I'm here for him here in the group stage. Let's go. I'm here. I am ready for now. 2-gate opener out of DnS. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of MaNa as well. DnS, he's scouting for, I was gonna say scouting for proxies, but he may just be opting to throw down his own pylon to try to fake out his opponent. As MaNa comes in with the probe scouts, being as annoying as possible. There we go. Proxy pylon gets thrown down. This is a fake proxy pylon. Basically, in the early game here, in the early days or the early moments of PvP, both players, they should be scouting each other, and we are counting up pylons. We are missing the second pylon. Where is it? It's not in the main base, and it could be a very real, very threatening proxy pylon with a proxy with an all-in. So the goal here is to try to force an overreaction from the side of MaNa, as MaNa's own pylon is in the main. And MaNa, he's scouring the map, he's looking, he's searching for the proxy pylon. We know that, alas, there is no proxy, it is a fake out. MaNa still has to determine that himself. As MaNa does open up Double Stalker. So much more assertive opener here. We'll have plenty of Stalkers to work with, a little DPS as well, setting up for his low ground expansion. We can see DnS does dip in. DnS scouts the pylon, so he himself knows that MaNa did not proxy. So all in all, MaNa's still just working with incomplete information as he hunts down the probe. Probe is falling. You can see MaNa, he's scouting the gold base location as well, checking bottom right, now checking top left, making sure there is no proxy Stargate, proxy Robo. And as all this is happening, DnS expands. So DnS will have a faster Nexus. Likewise, DnS does open Sentry, so he will have scouting information with those hallucinations. So all in all, DnS with a slightly better start here, with a slight advantage. I say slight because these are all just like very small wins for him. Even though he does have the faster expansion, it's only by a couple of seconds. Likewise with the Sentry, sure has more scouting information, but MaNa has found the pylon. Now he knows he can knock it down. Pylon is gonna fall. Likewise, MaNa is built up to 4 Stalkers, so in a head-to-head fight, MaNa, he can take it. DnS mainly reliant here on Sentries and on Force Fields. Thankfully, does have the low ground shield battery. MaNa poking in, and we'll see if MaNa can pick off a Sentry. Oh, goes that forward. Focusing down the Stalker. So far, DnS, he does hold on. Does hold, hasn't lost anything yet. Oh, shaving off the shields. And MaNa, he will retreat, hasn't lost any hull damage here on his Stalkers, does pull away, and now we can settle down and get into our longer game state here. Now we're getting into our 2 base economies. Oh, as DnS does overextend. High NG Sentry goes down. Very nice pick of another Sentry. Oh, guns go down as well. DnS does overextend, and with that, MaNa does come out ahead here in the trade, picking off 2 Sentries with high energy as well. Very nicely done. Behind this, both players are going to be following this up with Robos. Robo here for MaNa, Robo for DnS, getting into Immortal production. Likewise, we have faster +1 from MaNa as well, so he will have the greater upgrades as both players are going for these more passive follow-ups. We might be here for a while. What I'm referring to here is that with Immortal production underway, we don't really have much pushing power here or much map presence. We could see an earlier move out with a higher sentry count, that is true. But DnS just lost most of his sentries, which means both players should just be building up and chilling back at home, slowly building up that Immortal count. Oh, War Prism is on the way for MaNa. Interesting. I mean, MaNa does have some certain advantages, especially army-wise. Maybe try to press that advantage, may try to commit, or just harass. It's going to be harass. MaNa, he expands. Takes a 3rd base. DnS should be looking to take a 3rd as well, as MaNa is the first to expand. DnS throwing down 2 extra gateways. He has a 4-gate setup, getting into +1, working towards, I would imagine, charge or blink. There we go, charge on the way. As DnS is continuing that Immortal production. And this is going to be more committed here by DnS, so at the same time, he should be waiting for these upgrades. Because he has to wait, that is going to allow MaNa to get this third base up and running. You know, he moves out with that prism, with that drop. Here we go. Prism towards the main, delay on the third base. Nicely done. Does pop in. Oh, going for the Stalkers. Stalkers, they take a lot of hits, but so far 1 or 2 probes go down. Not bad. You get 2 workers. Of course, there is no blink, so there's no threat here to the War Prism. MaNa gets away. And again, MaNa, his third base is getting saturated. MaNa will have the better economy, the greater economy. DnS instead will have the larger and more potent army, at least when it comes to the charge loss, when it comes to the higher gateway count, the extra warpins. DnS is moving out. Now he's keeping his ground army back at home, just going out with that double drop. As a reminder, of course, when it comes to HomeStory Cup, there were some disconnection issues or connection issues that were plaguing the event, so we may be seeing some moments like that where there were some pauses. Meanwhile, Immortals into the mineral line. Stalkers are in position. One worker goes down. Meanwhile, the Immortals are going to be chased down. And MaNa so far, he is keeping up. Nice juggling, going for the War Prism. Prism will escape, but MaNa defends. MaNa, he holds, he does defend. To block guys behind this, we can see DnS just taking into Archon production as well. Headed towards the mid game. But MaNa still maintains a lead. Moving out with his own drop. Now, MaNa will have much later charge here, but I mean, the earlier charge timing from DnS isn't really coming into play. Isn't really adding anything. So MaNa does move out. Prism takes a couple of hits, but again, there is no blink. So MaNa, he does drop into the main. Takes down a Stalker. Going for the mineral line. Probes are going down, forcing a recall. Playing it safe, gets 3 probes, gets 4. The recall was only on 1 Immortal. Oh, a blunted recall here. Drop across the map. MaNa, he holds. Meanwhile, across the map, the Immortals are still getting damage done. The pylon, the HSCXXVI pilot goes down, depowering everything in the main. Everything is depowered. Ay. Prism gets out, takes a bit of hull damage, does survive. Very nicely done here by MaNa. 4 probes, depowers everything in the main, denies +2. And +2 just now finishing up for MaNa. And MaNa should be building up towards a move out, towards a massive push. Alas, he's been kept busy by that War Prism. Is pinned at home. Now working towards +3. Oh. The Immortals, they drop back in. They get a couple of probes. But here comes the move out. Oh boy, here comes MaNa. He's up in army. Up in upgrades. You see DnS committing across the map with a warp in. He does warp in across the map. Immortal goes down to the Zealots. But MaNa, he commits. He's got how many? He's got 5 Immortals. Jesus. He has 5 Immortals. Remember, the 2 Immortals. There were 2 Immortals across the map instead. Down to 1. And MaNa is stutter stepping forward. Yeah, he's pushing in shield babies. They're helping somewhat, but against 5 Immortals, the shield babies, they do nothing. They do nothing. Prism comes in, saves the Immortals as well. Nice juggling, nice control here out of MaNa. Up. 1 Immortal is going to go down. But MaNa, he has done it. He has broken through. So there's another reinforcing wave of Zealots. Oh, getting on top of the Immortals. Likewise, reinforcements also on the way from MaNa. The juggling. Oh no! Prism goes down. War Prism finally does fall, but it looks like the damage has been done. I say that, yeah, reinforcements have arrived. The 2 Immortals, they barely hold on. And the third base is being broken. GG gets called, and MaNa will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Nice moves out of MaNa to be able to get his lead early on, to be able to get the faster third base, able to get the later upgrades. But again, well, I guess I should say later tech, but the earlier tech of DnS never really came into play. So we get a very nice start. Oh. From the side of MaNa, does take a lead in the series. Does take a lead. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. getting ready for that second game. And we'll see how DnS will change his approach, assuming that he does. I mean, the openers are pretty stock standard, is what I will say. But yeah, MaNa, he was so opportunistic when it came to his War Prism harass, when it came to even early on sniping the 2 sentries. You know, it all did slowly add up over time into that move out, into that push. Now we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Protoss player from land of Poland leading the series 1-0 for Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss from France. It is DnS. Giant rubber duck on a pile of replays. Ah, yes, we hoard all the replays. Oh no. What do the replays look like? In my mind, they're like cassette tapes. Or VHS tapes. Yes. Oh no. Not like this. Are there people out there in the world now that like don't know what a VHS tape is? Or a cassette tape? Ah. Smurge. Not like this. Not like this. Feels floppy disk, man. Time to call short. True. Coming now, 2 get opener once again. 2 get opener out of MaNa. 2 get opener out of DnS. We're settling in. We're all old now. Yo, the people that are growing up in current year that won't know what CDs are? Maybe. They'll still know what, at least like, DVDs still exist. They still exist. We're still relevant. Somewhat. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. As now, we have our initial 2 gates. It's going to be 2-gate double Stalker. Both pylons in the main base for MaNa. Likewise, both pylons in the main base for DnS. DnS is going to be hiding his 3rd pylon further back. A little bit of a cheeky maneuver here by DnS. And MaNa, for the time being, is in the dark as to where that pylon has been placed. Ooh, and we're going to be opening up Stargates. Okay. DnS, you have my attention. So it is going to be the initial Stargate opener. With this, the goal is to get across the map with an Oracle to get some economic and harassing damage. Meanwhile, that's great minds think alike because MaNa does the same. Okay. Once again, mirrored builds. As a reminder, last game, both players did open up 2 base into Robo into Immortal production. Here, opening up into Oracles. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Matthew. Fair enough. Still exist, right? Oh no. Yeah. For now. I mean, I say that because like everything is slowly becoming digital, right? It's like when it comes to movies, you know, with streaming services, Netflix, like Apple, like iTunes, everything, like it's all digital. I feel like nowadays people get like hard discs or like hard covers of things just for like mainly maybe like collection purposes, or I guess like something that still benefits at least movies is like, you know, commentary tracks, like bonuses as well, right? Like hard cut to like the extended editions of Lord of the Rings where you have like 4 CDs, like 4 discs of like not just the movie but everything else as well. I mean, they don't really do that as much anymore, but you know, I guess that's like kind of the appeal. DnS, he does rotate. So far, we do have 9 workers going down, though. I mean, that was a brutal start here as MaNa, he wreaks havoc. The one Oracle. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted at the time. But yeah, 9 probes went down. 9 workers, that is brutal, and with that, MaNa does take a very hefty lead. MaNa, he is ahead in the economy. Behind this, going to be taking into his own Robo, into water production, into Fortune +1. DnS will take a different route, going Oracle into Blink, into the Twilight Council instead. MaNa is behind, though. Again, as a reminder, that was 9 probes falling compared to the 3 of his opponent. And the Oracle is still alive. Has those 9 kills and is coming back in. So we're going to throw in a dive into the main. MaNa going to be moving out ahead of time. And now this early timing, this early move out is designed to hit before Blink finishes. So before Blink is done, even though this army isn't necessarily the largest of forces, force fields can completely lock down an army and cut it in half. So DnS is in trouble. The stasis needs to pop off. Oh no! As MaNa, he does get eyes on the stasis, will bait out at least 1. But there's another behind this. The hallucinations, let's go! They are coming in, and alas, DnS, he will not stop them. They bait out the stasis traps, another one doesn't go down. And MaNa, he's pushing in, he is committing. Another stasis behind this. Another stasis is on the way. Hallucination goes down. Up! Oh my god. As I'm not so sure he knows. Oh, he does. He sees the stasis. We'll be shading in. Baits it out. And MaNa, he commits. The boys are being pulled. Force fields, they lock down the army. They at least try to. Yeah, they zone the army away. Probes are going down. And MaNa, he denies the stasis. Does deny it. That was what, like 4 or 5 stasis traps? They are going to be denied. Again, once again, the force fields, they do zone away some of the army. Probes are still falling. The Immortal's doing so much in the back line. Here comes the dive. Blink is done. Blink finally finishes. And DnS, can he hold? Oh, this is a rough trade. A very rough trade for DnS as he will not hold on. GG gets called and MaNa snowballs out of control, taking the series at 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive performance there out of MaNa, especially that final game. MaNa Papi, he might be one of the older players out there, but his eyes, they're beautiful. He sees everything. He knows all. Knows all. He sees all. He saw all the stasis traps ahead of time. He was able to bait them out, of course. Likewise, very crisp timing as well. After getting ahead with the Oracle harass, he knew that his opponent was weak. His opponent was vulnerable. Just went straight for the kill. Very nicely done. GG. GG, well played. MaNa will take the win. We'll start things off with a 2-0 over DnS. GG. GG, well played. So nicely done here by MaNa. And that is going to lead us into our second series of the night. We're going to be following DnS into his next match. Now, that was the one and only PvP of the morning. And up next, we have our PvT, our first one of the broadcast. Up next is going to be Hero Marine versus DnS. Big Gabe, let's go. We actually didn't get to cast, I don't think we casted any, maybe we casted Big Gabe once at the time when we were covering the B stream. As you can imagine, the mainstream, Take TV, they were all over Gabe. I mean, he's one of their own, right? He's one of their boys, one of their staff members, if you will. Their chef, their cook, cooking up a storm and making those pizzas. Beautiful. So, they were all over his matches. Now we're able to at least get some of it done, or some of it covered here on the CranKy Ducklings. Let's go. Let us go.